My name is Taylor, and I have cystic fibrosis.
I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.
What's going on, guys? Like I said before, my name's Taylor, and I am 25 years old. I was born August 1st, 1990. So this first video, as you all know, is just a little more about myself. So for the past 2 weeks, I've pretty much been recording myself doing anything and everything and just talking to the camera. Whenever a video camera came out, I would not talk. I can't stand the sound of my voice being played back. So ever since I was little, as soon as a video camera would come out, my mouth was shut. I would not talk. So editing this is going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys have any suggestions or any tips and tricks, that would be awesome. Let me know. So I'm really excited about the channel. We have a good group of people, great group of people, and we all come from different walks of life. We all have different lung functions. Some of us have kids. Some of us, we're all pretty much all over the country. This channel is all about you guys. If you haven't checked out our Facebook page, check it out. There will be polls there posted weekly about topics that you guys have chose. So if you guys want to throw out a topic suggestion, that would be the place to do it. And we want to get to every topic, so sooner or later we will discuss a topic that you guys choose. So I'll get to talking a little bit more about myself, and I find that really hard. I was that introverted kid that was shy in the back of the class that really nobody paid attention to. I'm the oldest of 4. I have 2 younger sisters and a younger brother. I'm a graphic designer by profession, industrial designer by degree, and a outdoor adrenaline junkie by hobby. I got my degree in Savannah College of Art and Design. I lived there for 5 years, and it was awesome. So I went through college. Most of my friends didn't know I have cystic fibrosis. Actually, it was something that I didn't want to talk about growing up. I never let CF define who I was or what I was going to be. I never wanted my life to revolve around CF. My main passions include climbing, hiking, traveling, pretty much anything with 2 wheels and a motor. When I was 5 years old, my dad put me on a dirt bike, and I've been riding dirt bikes ever since. That's been a passion of mine my whole life, and I think living that active lifestyle has definitely helped my health. When I was a kid, I played sports. I played baseball. I skateboarded, rollerbladed, snowboard, pretty much you name it, I did it. I've traveled around the world, and I've shared experiences with people that I've met that are priceless. And so how I was diagnosed. I was about 5 months old when I was diagnosed. I had a pretty rough first few months of my life. There was a few close calls, and my mom and dad, I can't imagine what they went through. But I had a few scares. I was very impatient, and I wasn't even born yet. I wanted to be born before my due date, so my mom was on bed rest for 4 weeks before my due date, 2 of those weeks being in the hospital. And during the time in the hospital, my mom had all these monitors hooked up to her stomach, monitoring my heart rate. And during that time, my heart flatlined. So, a whole bunch of nurses and ran in because of all the beeping going on, and they figured it was because my umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck, and it had cut off circulation enough to where my heart stopped. They had my mom get in this position to where it released the pressure around my neck, and fortunately enough, my heart started beating again. That was pretty much scare number one. Like I said, I was really impatient. When my mom was in labor, I was so anxious to take my first breath. I didn't wait until I was in the world yet. I inhaled amniotic. Is that how you say that? I inhaled amniotic fluid, and apparently that becomes really nasty and sticky in your lungs. So I came out the brightest blue that a human being could ever be. And again, fortunately enough, they suctioned all that stuff out of my lungs, and I began to breathe. And for the following 5 months after that, I pretty much couldn't keep weight on. I was eating to the point where, I would pass out. I was so full. And I would just not gain weight. The doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. All they wrote in their notes was I had a failure to thrive. So it was around the 5-month mark. I was going to another routine visit, and my dad told my mom to mention to the doctor that I had tasted salty. My mom didn't think anything of it, but she mentioned it to him during that visit, and the nurses, wide-eyed, said, your son probably has cystic fibrosis. And that's the story of how I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. Growing up, I really didn't reach out to anyone who had CF. I kind of kept it to myself. It wasn't until just the past few years that I've decided to start talking about it. And these doors have opened, and I'm glad I opened my mouth. And I've expressed my opinions and my worries and anxieties. And the CF community has been super strong and encouraging and motivating. And there's just so much love in this community. And I don't want to get too touchy, but it's really awesome. When I was growing up, I had a really hard time gaining weight and growing, really. It was all ups and downs. I was really small for my age, like really small. And like 11 years old, 50 pounds small. So I was a little guy. So when I was 11, I got a G2 place, and I've been using it ever since. And that's definitely helped me gain weight and maintain weight. About 9 months ago, I was diagnosed with CFRD, cystic fibrosis related diabetes. And it's definitely been a blessing in disguise. A lot of people really run away from that thought, or they're really discouraged by that. But really, it's been a blessing in disguise. I've been able to put weight on and keep weight, so it's been really awesome. Sticking yourself is just kind of a part of my daily routine now. So that pretty much sums up my life. If you guys have any questions, let me know. And if you haven't checked out our Facebook, check it out and vote on the poll and suggest new topics. Like I said, this channel is all about you guys, and we want to hear from you. So I really look forward to this, and I will see you guys next time.
Well, my thoughts smell like rotten eggs, and I got osteoporosis in my legs, and my cough sounds like I smoke 40 a day, and I always go back for fits at a buffet. Leave the loo for 30 minutes after I'm done, or you'll be regretting that decision, cause my pancreas likes the enzymes to function, so when I'm off that says it means you're malfunction. I got cystic fibrosis. Every time I laugh, there's a high chance I'll pee, and I have very low vitamin A and E and D. See, I've got cystic fibrosis. I take over 40 tablets a day, and if you're smoking a fag, please stay the hell away. I have this thing called pancreatic insufficiency, which means I have a high chance of getting diabetes. Also I have finger clubbing, so they look like ETs, and in all my food I have to put extra calories. The average life expectancy of someone, see if it's 40, but that can be increased if you do treatments. Don't be naughty, but a baby born today could live to be as old as 60. Prolong your life, don't do drugs like a hippie. There's a high chance of infertility in men and in women, but that don't eliminate the chance of having children. It's amazing what science can do with a test tube and a pipette. Stick it all together just like making a baguette. Creon, calcium, fluoxacillin, vitamin A, cetrin and tobramycin, ferrous fumarate, vitamins, penicillin, hypertonic saline, tornase, colomycin. I've got cystic fibrosis. I've got high levels of salt in my skin, and as days go by, well, my bones are getting thin. See, I've got cystic fibrosis. I've got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.